Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelava, and this is Mayan Speedplay number 30. We left off at peace, weirdly enough. We have armies up near Morocco, well, just one army and another army over in sub-Saharan Africa, which we'll probably try to bring up. And at this point, the goal is mainly to just conquer Morocco. We will also have Aragon get called in as a co-belligerent. We would declare war directly on Aragon, however the Netherlands is Defender of the Faith. At any rate, so we are at war now. We charge ahead into Morocco. We have just overwhelming force, and we have blocked off the Straits of Gibraltar. We also have an army dealing with revolts in Australia. So the plan is basically to just roll on in, defeat all of their forces, leave a group up north, just to watch out and wait until we can eventually win. The rebels come and attack us, so we win against them fairly easily. And with that all said and done, Aragon does have a significant military force, so we're not going to charge over into their countryside. We will pull our forces from Australia and bring them up to somewhere a bit more relevant. And eventually we are going to declare war on all of these native states. We did raise another army just to deal with that, or we are in the process of, at any rate. Now we are also at war with Venice, and these forces are all breaking apart. The idea basically being we'll have one army for each native and just two armies for the Blackfoot. We go ahead and send our armies where they will just fight them, and we win all of the battles pretty handedly. With that all said and done, it's just a matter of finishing the siege against Morocco, hopefully getting enough forces combined that we'll be able to charge up and deal with Aragon. Meanwhile, we do also have to deal with Venice at some point, or not really have to, but they are attacking Tunis, which is a little annoying. And for whatever reason, they won't accept peace just yet, but they will, I assume, in a moment. We do have an issue with our diplomats being very far away, which slows us down moderately, but not so much. We also declare war on the final native state we haven't declared on yet. Alright, we do win against the Venetian forces. We split our navy in parts and go ahead and just deal with a bit of Native American things. We've annexed all but one native state in North America, so we are the really almost only, and now only state in North America, which is a bit of an achievement right there, I would say. Meanwhile, we do try to chase down their navy a bit. We do find and attack Provence's navy, but while we do that, they attack ours. We manage to escape without losing anything, and then go fight them before they are able to arrive. Now, our truce with Brazil has just ended, and I don't want them to form a coalition against us, so we're going to immediately declare war and just funnel two armies over to them as quickly as we possibly can. The idea behind that being, I would rather be moderately unprepared for this war than to have to fight the coalition again, quite frankly. So we do charge in. We win that battle since we outnumber them significantly. We're going to bring a third army down to just keep the pressure on Brazil. We raise a couple mercenaries just to get the siege going. And yeah, we're sieging out Venice, which should hopefully, well, it'll probably take a while since they have a high-level fort. So does Brazil, which is just horribly tedious. And yeah, with that all said and done, we deal with colonization for a moment up in North America. Just kind of keep our armies roving around Brazil a bit. And just sieging them out. Now this does kind of put our war against Morocco on hold, but we control everything they own in North Africa, which is really what we're after in the first place, and we'll be able to get Venice out of this. We do have the risk of rebellion in Africa, which does go over. Luckily, we had just pulled some troops over. We build another army and another group of transports. This will bring us up to 5 armies of vaguely 32,000 men each. The Brazilians appear to be trying to attack us, and we do win against Venice. So we go ahead and annex Venice, and hopefully we will be able to bring our army over. Unfortunately, we do lose a battle, which is rather significant. And as we win that battle, we get another rebellion, which is a little unfortunate as well. Luckily, we have an army nearby. We have a decent amount of troops in Brazil. We can hopefully defeat them with these two armies combined like we did previously. And yes, it looks as though that'll be pretty much just one-sided. We're going to go ahead and re-siege them out again. We go ahead and battle those rebels. The Commonwealth declared on the Ottomans, which is great news for us, as the Ottomans do not like us very much at all. We go ahead and raise even more troops just to get the siege back up again. We do lose a battle, though, as they have troops roving about. We also attack their army, which was retreating, and do a bit of damage to it, though we do not stack wipe them. We also fight and win against rebels in sub-Saharan Africa once again. And there we go. We have our new leader, 444, with a new heir, who is even better than before, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to just put our new leader in charge of an army. His heir is only like 7. However, you know, that's 8 years. It lowers the lifespan of our current leader, who is decently young. So I'm willing to just put him in charge of an army and risk a short regency in order to expedite the process of his better heir taking over the throne. We also just turned off all of our forts, which means we have to fight that battle. Otherwise, they'll get the fort and be even more tedious to deal with, which I'm not really looking forward to. Luckily, we do win the battle. Alright, so now they have an army just kind of roving about inside their own country, technically. Yeah, we have a lot of armies just around and about. We have something like 5 of our armies. Basically, the entire Mayan military force is now in Brazil, just roving about. Remember, we're also at war with Aragon and Morocco right now, but that's completely irrelevant since we've gotten really everything that we want from them. So they can basically just continue to exist under occupation right now as we rove across Brazil. Meanwhile, we do all of a sudden get call for peace from Morocco, so we do have to go over and just make peace with them. We give everything in North Africa to Tunis. We didn't get anything in Iberia, but that isn't really the worst situation that could have unfolded. And we'll go ahead and see what we can get from Brazil, making note to take every single fortress they own, because that is just awful to deal with every time. We go ahead and sell a bunch of our fortresses that are no longer relevant, just because they're too far from anything to really matter, and our navy is our fortress. Alright, so with that all said and done, France got eaten by Austria, which is interesting. All throughout everywhere else, there's really just the plan that we used to have, which is to go ahead and to take over a path for trade to get trade from Asia over to the Caribbean and all that. So we take 4 armies, over 100,000 men, 120-something thousand men actually, and we're just going to charge them right into Kilwa. Now, funny enough, this reminds me of a story of the Haitian Revolution, where when the Leclerc expedition showed up, the person who took over Haiti famously went to the coast, saw all the ships arriving, and declared, "All of France has come." Which, I mean, admittedly was a bit of an over-exaggeration, but you have to get the impression that that must have been the feeling if just tons and tons of soldiers, more than you've ever seen, are just rolling into your countryside. We also turn our forts back on in Brazil because they're about to revolt, and as you might be able to say, we have something akin to tactical superiority in East Africa right now. We get a slew of rebels. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with all of those. Only the one on the far west will actually be able to take anything since the others spawned on forts. And we're just slowly roving through Kilwa. They have a navy, which I'm not sure what it was up to, but it sank. And our remaining army will just rush on over. Alright, with that all said and done, we're taking over the main central area of Kilwa and go and destroy that rebellion. Unfortunately, they stack wiped one of our groups because I did not realize they would just march on through the not wasteland, but I guess uncolonized areas, which formerly were wasteland a few patches ago. So that was kind of horribly unpleasant. And we only lost 4,000 men though, so it wasn't the worst thing. And it also proves that we don't have to go through all of their fortresses, we can just kind of go around them semi-lazily, which is a pretty decent discovery actually, so it's kind of worth the loss. Besides, we had groups over the 32,000 man stacks that had really been maintaining, so we'll be able to just shuffle forces around a bit and get the now undermanned group back up to a decent size. So yeah, all that said and done, it isn't too much of a disaster, and we are roving through their territory with some pretty considerable ease. Now, if we manage to pull this off, as I am hoping we will, then the end result will be an additional merchant and significant trade power in this node. Whether or not it's actually going to turn into that does remain to be seen, although at this point they have entirely 2,000 men in their military, so we go ahead and split our force into just a massive number of 2 stacks, and we're going to just siege out Mombasa almost just instantaneously, I imagine. Probably within about 3 or 4 or 8 months, which I know is a terrible, terrible discrepancy, but, you know, there's no real fighting left to be done. So our forces just sort of spread on out. We are pretty much done with the war at this point. It's just a matter of seeing what we can get. They did not get called in as co-belligerents because they are allied to the Ottomans, and quite frankly, that wasn't really anything I was looking forward to dealing with, especially when we could have just completely overwhelmed and dominated this war, and then just declared a separate war on the Ottomans, really just at any point, which is probably what we're going to do once this is over, or in the next episode. So we do go ahead, we take what we can from Mombasa and also from Kilwa. We could have taken more, however, that would have thrown us over extension, and we would have taken a trade node that we don't really want or need. Alright, so with that all said and done, Austria declared war on the Commonwealth, which has really wrecked the Ottomans. We might deal with the weak Ottomans in the next one, but thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will be back tomorrow. Have a great day.